Alright, good evening ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Ultimate Dirt TV and also Dirt Oval TV. Well, we're back here at USA International Speedway for the Blue Sphere Corporation and Dirty Old Bastards World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Series. Qualifying about to be wrapped up here in just a moment's time, but before we go any further, we're going to play tonight's invocation for the American National Anthem. For the playing of the American National Anthem before we get set into qualifying here in just a few moments' time. Race 1, we've seen Joel Berkeley pick up the win in that 209 machine. We had 23 drivers, I think, take to the racetrack last time. However, we've got 26 drivers on tap here that have taken the time in this practice session, so we will see a B main here tonight with our top 20 going straight through to the main event. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 and 26 will see themselves in the B main. 8 laps on the board for that B main, but to find out those B main drivers, we'll find out because we got qualifying coming up to you on screen right now. Once again, a big thanks to Steady Group Holdings and also Colby's iPads along with Blue Sphere Corporation, as well as the Dirty Old Bastards and Dirt Oval TV, and everyone for tuning in here on this Thursday evening for the penultimate race, for the final race of the penultimate round of the series. Here we go, first couple of cars on the racetrack. The first car to get the green flag in the 115, it's going to be Stephen Renaud. In car number 22 in the Colby's Eye Paints, Next Gen Fab, it's Jason Nygaard in the TTL Esports, Down Under Graphics, Ash Media Speedway Footage, Thigh Design, Sim Spec, no Hyper Stimulator, in Ultimate Dirt TV 209, it'll be Joel Berkeley. First lap time for Stephen Renaud, an 18.698. Jason Nygaard with an 18.710. And Joel Berkeley straight to position 1 with an 18.608. Renaud lap number 2 is quick time with an 18.547. Nygaard slower on lap number 2. And Berkeley slower as well with an 18.628. So Stephen Renaud puts the 115 on the pole for the main event for the time being. If he can keep that position right now, as we send out another 3 drivers onto the racetrack. And the first of these 3 cars to hit the racetrack here for group qualifying in car number 31. That'll be Tyson Landis. Tyson Landis in the 31. And the Team SETI Group Holdings, Colby's Eye Paints, car number 37. That'll be, and also Wicked Cushion as well, I believe. That'll be 37 of Zane Scott. And the LNS Speed, car number 9. It'll be Drew Neal. Drew Neal in car number 9. Tyson Landers with an 18.975. Zane Scott with a 19.187 and Drew Neal with a 19.479. Landers, can he improve on that time? 18.895. Zane Scott, position 4 with an 18.722. And Drew Neal with a 19.479, off the pace by half a second. That's not the qualifying effort that number 9 would have hoped for. Rolling out in the wicked cushion, Team SETI Group Holdings, 127, finishing 3rd in race number 1. That'll be Stephen Hill. Stephen Hill in the 127. And car number 19, the Team BLR.com Collective at number 19, Blake Derflinger. Blake Derflinger in car number 19. In the ENR, car number 11, Zach McLaughlin. Zach McLaughlin in car number 11. First lap time here for Stephen Hill will be an 18.949. Derflinger with an 18.843. McLaughlin with an 18.802. We look at Stephen Hill rolling through turns 3 and 4 now. And it's going to be an 18.941, so a slight improvement on time. Derflinger goes to position 3 with an 18.684. And McLaughlin with an 18.773, improving on the time, not position. He sits position number 6. So our next group of cars to come out onto the racetrack in the 73 in the Dirt Track and Bastards, Dirty Old Bastards Blue Sphere Corporation. It'll be Alan Samel in the Wicked Cushion UW Motorsports entry. Colby's Eye Paints, car number 84, Chris Brenner. So just those two cars on the racetrack here for this group of cars, or this group I should say. First lap time for Alan Samel, 9th quick with a 19.462, bump back to position 10. Brenner goes 9th quick with a 19 flat, a 19.000. Samel looking at lap number 2 with a 19.264, and Brenner jumps to position number 3 with an 18.668. Position 3 for Chris Brenner, as at the moment he sits on the inside of row number 2. So some heavy hitters here in race number 2. Obviously just coming over from the 360 race. The 93 of Chris Roberts. The first car to get on the gas. So for turn number 2, Chris Roberts in the 93. In the Wicked Cushion 838 entry, it'll be Tim Smith. Tim Smith in the 838. And in the Black Diamonds Motorsports 090, it'll be Trevor Royer. Trevor Royer in the 090. First lap time for Chris Roberts will be a 19.159. Tim Smith with an 18.917. Royer with a 19.028. Smith the quickest out of the 3 at the moment. Roberts' second lap time will be an 18.986. Smith will jump to position 7 with an 18.737. And Roy jumps to position 11 with an 18.981. Oh. So first car to come out of pit road here for the next group of cars for time trials. In the Wicked Cushion UW Motorsports Colby's Eye Paint Ultimate Dirt TV number 12, it'll be Michael Sheridan. In the Wicked Cushion Team SETI Group Holdings Colby's Eye Paints car number 97, Matthew Henninger. And in the Dirt Track and Bastards, Dirty Old Bastards, Blue Sphere Corporation Ultimate Dirt TV, car number 21, Tyler Henselman. Tyler Henselman in car number 21. Sheridan, Henninger, and Henselman, your 3 cars on track. As they try and lay down fast time here in race number 2. Lap number 1 for Michael Sheridan, 9th quick with an 18.856. Henninger with a 19.492. Henselman with a 19.394. 15th for Henselman, 17th for Henninger, 9th for Sheridan. Sheridan looking to improve. It looks like he will. Just on the time only. Still 9th quick with an 18.808. Henninger with a 19.462, 16th quick, and Henselman with a 19.082, position number 14. So we just seen Schaefer moving that 77 forward. And rolling out onto the racetrack in the number 92 in the Team SETI Group Holdings, a Wicked Cushion, car number 92, that'll be Mike Keegan. Mike Keegan in car number 92, Colby's Eye Paints on that one as well. In the Dirt Track and Bastards, Dirty Old Bastards, number 77, Aaron Schaefer. Aaron Schaefer in the 77. And in car number 81, it'll be Don Hunter. Don Hunter in car number 81. So Keegan in car number 92, 16th quick, a 19.291. Schaefer with a 19.539. And Don Hunter with a 19.746. A 19.029 for Mike Keegan, jumps up a couple of positions, goes to position number 14. Schaefer, position 17 with a 19.289, and Don Hunter with a 19.640. That'll be 20th quick. So Don Hunter on the bubble at the moment. We've still got about 6 or 7 cars to lay down a qualifying time here at USA, as we wait for the next couple of drivers to hit the racetrack. Your next 3 cars. In the Steel Circle eBay entry, the 005, Brandon Steele. Brandon Steele in the 005. In the 157, in the Wicked Cushion, UW Motorsports entry, Colby's Eye Paint Ultimate Dirt TV, 157, John Lopresto. Brother to John in the Wicked Cushion, Lopresto Racing, Colby's Eye Paints, UW Motorsports Ultimate Dirt TV, 257. This time it is Anthony Lopresto. First lap time for Brandon Steele, a 19.834. A 19.834. John Lopresto with a 19.656. He'll pull up on the back stretch. He'll only get 1 lap in. Anthony Lepresto with a 19.164. Position 16 for Anthony. Brandon Steele jumps to 16 with a 19.136. And Anthony Lepresto jumps into the 18 seconds, jumps to position 10 with an 18.842. At the moment, Stephen Renault, no one has been able to lay a hand on that qualifying effort. Over half a tenth quicker than your race number one winner, Joel Berkeley, by 0.062 of a second from qualifying. And he's even got over a tenth on Chris Brenner, in fact 0.122 of a second. Oh, some more of these pro race car drivers. Coming up next in the Black Diamonds Motorsports Valvoline Express Care Ultimate Dirt TV number 35, it is John Batista. John Batista in car number 35. And the Rat Bag Games car number 134. This will be Scott Tyler. So just these two cars on the racetrack for what looks to be the second last group of qualifying. First lap time for Batista. Jumps inside of the top 10 with an 18.760. Tyler back on pit road. So Batista, the only car on the racetrack at the moment, rolling the bottom side in turns 3 and 4. Slides it up to the cushion on exit of turn number 4. He goes quick. He jumps up one more position with an 18.725. He goes to position number 7. And there is a lot of muscle being flexed towards your top 10 now at the moment. As they are separated by 0.262 of a second. 0.295, you go back to 11th. And 0.348, so 3.5 tenths between our top 12 drivers. Tyson Landers also in the 18.8s as well. And our last two cars to come out onto the racetrack in the Beer Hill Gang. TeamVLR.com at car number 30. It'll be Stephen Calavoda. Stephen Calavoda in car number 30. And also rolling out onto the racetrack as well in the 077. It'll be Vince Romeo. So not normally what you'd see. Normally see cars spread out, but these cars are fairly close to one another right now. Calavoda just getting balked there and got out of the gas big time. So he's not going to be able to lay a lap time in, and Vince Romeo with a 19.699, position 25. And Calavoda, no time in that 30 machine, so he's going to be stuck in the B main. 26 cars. In fact, he did get a lap time registered. It was a 46.053, but that's when you first come out of pit road. So quick time belongs to Stephen Renault in the 1:15.209 of Joel Berkeley. Second, quick Chris Brenner third, Derflinger fourth, Nygaard fifth, sixth Zane Scott, Batista seventh, eighth was Tim Smith, Zach McLaughlin ninth, 10th was Sheridan, 11th was Anthony Lepresto, Tyson Landis 12th, 13th was Stephen Hill, Trevor Royer 14th, 15th Chris Roberts, 16th Mike Keegan, Tyler Henselman 17th, 18th Brandon Steele, 19th was Alan Samel, and your 20th car to make it directly into the main event was Aaron Schaefer. So our B main will line up like this. Matthew Henninger will start on pole. Drew Neal will start out of position 2. Don Hunter out of position 3. Out of 4 will be John Lepresto. Out of 5 will be Vince Romeo. 6 will be Stephen Calavoda. And Scott Tyler will start out of position number 7. So qualifying wrapped up as we wait on our B main cars to come on to the racetrack. So here we have it, our first of our B main cars to exit pit road. Now remember, 8 laps on tap here for the B main. We take our top 4, and there'll be no cautions in the B main tonight. Yeah, okay. Scott Tyler just coming through and nailing into the 077 of Vince Romeo there. Scott Tyler, I think, maybe needs to slow down and listen to race control. So look at that beautifully presented machine in the Team SETI Group Holdings Colby's Eye Paints, number 97. Also wicked cushion on the back of that one. Looks like John Lopresto will move up to the outside of the front row. Don Hunter, Stephen Calavoda as well. Then you got Vince Romeo and Scott Tyler. So Drew Neal not making the call for tonight's B main.
Time, guys. 8 laps. No yellows. Top 4.
So that's race control in. So they'll go around one more time around here at the USA International Speedway.
Tighten up, guys. 1 to green. Once again, 8 laps.
Top 4 will advance. I would expect your 4 cars to be Matthew Henniger, John Lopresto, Vince Romeo, and Stephen Calavoda to transfer into this one. You never know, Don Hunter might throw a spanner in the works here. I don't think the 134 of Scott Tyler will have anything for these guys.
Tighten up, guys. Post truck in. Green flag, green flag.
Green flag is out, and Matthew Henniger got a good start. Don Hunter in second. Third is Vince Romeo. John Lopresto fourth, and fifth is Stephen Calavoda. Scott Tyler not even not sure what he's doing on the racetrack, but I think it's time for him to escape out. Lap 1 in the books belongs to the 97 of Matthew Henniger. Hunter in second. Third is Vince Romeo, and now he's making a run on the inside of that number 81. Romeo's going to slide up and take the line away from Hunter. And here comes Lopresto to the inside. A nice little 3-car battle as we're almost 3 wide. Hunter shuts the door on Lopresto. As now Lopresto's going to fall back to 5th. And here comes Stephen Calavoda. Romeo almost getting into the wall, and there goes Hunter into the wall, in fact, and he goes upside down. Calavoda to the rear end broken on that race car, so just these 4 guys remain here as they are spread right out on this racetrack. So we're now coming to halfway home, 4 down, 4 to run here in the B main tonight. Henniger, your race leader from Romeo. Then you go back to Lopresto. And Calavoda, excuse me. 3 to run for your race leader. So he makes his way into turn number 1 and 2. Heading up through turns 3 and 4, 2 to run.
Go, come on.
So all 4 of these drivers will transfer, and they are the 4 drivers that were predicted to make the main event. As you've now got a battle on for the race lead. Romeo trying to drive it in there and trying to dive bomb into turn number 3 and 4, but the white flag is out. 1 lap to go for your race leader of the 97 of Matthew Henninger. Half a track to run, in fact 2 turns here at USA, these tight little sharp corners. Your winner will be Matthew Henninger. Second will go to Vince Romeo. Third is going to be Stephen Calavoda. And coming across the line in 4th place is John Lopresto, but the 97 getting the job done. We'll take a quick break here on Ultimate Dirt TV and Dirt Oval TV, and we'll come back with the feature event, the 25 lap main event to come here in just a moment. And we're back live here on Ultimate Dirt TV and Dirt Oval TV. Let's take a look at our City Group Holdings starting grid. Your front row for tonight's main event. In the 115 will be Stephen Renaud. To the outside of the front row in the 209 will be Joel Berkeley.
Let's get ready to rumble!
At a position number 3, caliber 84 of Chris Brenner. To his outside in caliber 19, Blake Derflinger. At a position number 5 in the 22, Jason Nygaard. To his outside, the 37 of Zane Scott. At a position 7, the 35 of John Batista. He lines up alongside the 838 of Tim Smith. At a position 9, the 11 of Zach McLaughlin. He lines up alongside the 12 of Michael Sheridan. At a position 11, the 257, Anthony Lopresto will start alongside the 31 of Tyson Landis at a position number 12. At a position 13, the 127 of Stephen Hill. At a position 14, the 090 Trevor Royer. At a position 15, the 93 of Chris Roberts. Lined up alongside the 92 of Mike Keegan. Guys having trouble getting... In fact, looks like these 3 drivers look like they're going to opt to go to the rear of the field. The 21 of Tyler Henselman starts out of 17. The Brandon Steele will start out of position 18. 19 will be Alan Samel and Aaron Schaefer. Then you got a main transferees Matthew Henninger, John Lopresto, Vince Romeo, and Stephen Calavoda. So I don't have any chat up or anything like that, but that's what I'm going to be assuming, that these guys will start at the back of the bus and they're going to take the back row challenge and look to come from the rear of the field. In the tricks race, Well, the time for talk is over. 25 laps on the board. This will put Jason Nygaard and Blake Derflinger on the front row for tonight's main event. Batista alongside Scott, Anthony Lopresto and teammate Tim Smith, Stephen Hill, Michael Sheridan, Chris Roberts and Tyson Landis. 25 laps on the board. Jason Nygaard will lead us down and underway here in main event number 2, race number 2. All the drivers looking to make their way through turns 1 and 2 right now, as they do so. Stephen Hill into the wall along with Blake Derflinger, the 19 upside down in a big way. We'll take a look at the Colby's Eye Paints instant replay and see what happened here. Just overshot the mark. Went upside down, and that was Zane Scott having nowhere to go. Finished the job off. And there we go, first caution of the night. Let's take a look one more time at maybe the cockpit angle here of Blake Derflinger. So this is your Colby's Eye Paints instant replay. Just overshot the mark and going upside down, and then he gets hit, and that is his night done and dusted. So Blake getting a bit of TV airtime here and getting a bit of airtime on the racetrack, that's for sure. So all the drivers made their way through that one as our first caution of the night comes out. And how about the man in front, the 22 of Jason Nygaard. Get a few things going here. So the lights are out on the pace truck. As Jason Nygaard will have command of this field. He'll have John Batista and Zane Scott behind him. Anthony Lopresto and Tim Smith, your top 5. Pace truck about to be in. And Nygaard gets back on the gas already. Batista going with him as well. And oh, we've got Lopresto into the wall. He comes back onto the racetrack in front of Stephen Hill. And Stephen Hill now looking to get around the outside of the 257. And yellow flag is out yet again. Looks like we got Vince Romeo and Chris Brenner. Brenner doing the back row challenge. I'm not sure what happened to Brenner. We just catching the end of that. So we had a look at the Colby's Eye Paints instant replay. And that number 84 in the wicked cushion back on pit road. Well, put a W in front of that and you'll have the ambulance. I think that's where Chris Brenner might be going. He would not be a happy camper, but he does this for a bit of fun. However, the championship is on the line for a couple of these drivers. I believe it's between Samoa and Roberts. I think there was I think I read a 2-point gap going into the final week before the drop week rule applies. So lights are still flashing on the iRacing official page track, and I dare say that Jason Nygaard, well, the nose might be at an all-time high at the moment for the solo driver of that 22. Got Next Gen Fab on board along with Colby's eye paints.
Check balls up.
So white flag, lap number 31, second caution of the night. We had 3 laps. Every time there was a caution out on the racetrack to the total number of laps for the race distance, so 25 plus 3 times 2. So white flag will be at lap number 31. This is exactly what we've seen in race 1. We've seen the early couple of cautions before we had a good period of green flag laps before we had another caution late in the race. Hopefully these drivers can settle down. We get back underway. The green flag is back out, and Jason Nygaard once again will lead us down into turn number 1 and 2. Once again, all the drivers trying to make it through. Try and keep an eye on the guys coming from the back as well. There's Stephen Renaud along with Joel Berkeley and Brenner, who we know is already out of the event. And oh no, there is Aaron Schaefer and Brandon Steele going up on the wall as we stayed green for that one. Nygaard, well, he's fallen back into the clutches of 4th place. He must have made a mistake. And oh no, Nygaard into the wall, into the fence. Rear end damage on the race car, the 31. And Jason Nygaard, your race leader. Let's take a look at the Colby's eye paints instant replay and see what happened to the double two. We can just find out where his name is. There it is. So let's go back and see what happened. Well, I'm not sure what happened here because there you go. It looks like he just got into the wall, and then a lap later, well, he finishes the job. This is where we come back on screen with him, and he's running back in 5th. Got around the outside of Roberts, and just goes into 3 and 4. Right rear, meet the wall, climb the catch fence, and that is the reason for the caution. So the 22 of Jason Nygaard. Have a look as he goes into 3 and 4, and there it is. You see the right rear climbing the wall, getting into the catch fence, and that is his night done and dusted here in race number 2. And he'd be bitterly disappointed with that one, considering that he had such a good start. So Batista will lead this field back to Green Flag Racing in the Black Diamonds Motorsports 35. In the UW Motorsports entry, 838 of Tim Smith, who rides in 2nd. And in the Team SETI, number 37, Zane Scott rides in 3rd. And you go back to the Dirt Track and Bastards, number 93 of Chris Roberts in 4th. So white flag lap number 34. Green flag about to be displayed here on the racetrack once again. Let's go. Green flag. So 21 still remains, so we've only gotten 4 laps in the books here in this one. And Renaud and Berkeley almost into the top 10 as they're sitting 11th and 12th at the moment. As Renaud now looks to the inside of John Lepresto. Renaud, he picks up 2 positions. 3 wide, Berkeley on the outside. Berkeley got off the gas as Renaud was coming back up to the top side of the racetrack. Now they sit 9th and 10th. And the guys that finished 1-2 in qualifying, they are making their way through the field. Renaud, oh no, Berkeley climbs the wall. Upside down, the 209. A hard ride. And that race car is bent and she is broken. He is done. As they were making their way through the field at just the same place that we've seen so many people do it tonight already. As he's not going to be able to cross the finish line. 3 for 3. As look at that car just one more time. We'll have a look at the right front suspension here. Look how close they get to the wall, and there we go. He's seen the sky for quite some time. So big thanks to Colby's Eye Paints for bringing you the replay action. Yes, we had a look in turns 3 and 4 as well. Just in front of Berkeley was Renaud and Sheridan. So white flag 37. So we're on 2 to green at the moment. So we've got a couple of laps in the books there. At the moment they're sitting on probably about 18 laps to run. It'll be 17 or 18 laps, somewhere around there in that one. So yeah, make sure you head over to youtube.com/Ultimate Dirt TV. Give us your subscription, doesn't cost you anything. Hit the subscribe button. All of our content we do here on Ultimate Dirt TV is uploaded. And make sure you check out Dirt Oval TV on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/ I believe it's Dirt Oval TV. Just type in Dirt Oval TV. You can go to the website, dirtovaltv.com. And if you're watching on the Dirt Oval TV, make sure you head over to Ultimate Dirt TV on Facebook as well. Check out the Blue Sphere Corporation along with Dirty Old Bastards. Colby's Eye Paints, they're all on Facebook. And check out SETI Group on the web, www.seti.com. It's CEDI.com. Green flag back underway as the pace truck pulls back to the infield. Batista to the low side in turns number 1 and 2. Smith followed him and Zane Scott continued to rail the cushion. In turns 1 and 2, where do they go in 3 and 4? Batista using the slide job line to perfection at the moment. As we'll know what kind of lap times these guys are doing here in just a moment. Batista, in fact, on that restart with a 19.666. Smith was a 19.792, so it just goes to show the slide job line is fast at the moment. We'll see what times they're doing right now. Smith with a 465 and 470, and Batista was a 19.6 flat. Roberts in 4th behind Zane Scott, and he's behind Chris Roberts is the 257 of Anthony Lopresto. Alan Samel back there in 6th, battling it out with a teammate there, Tyler Henselman. Stephen Renaud in 8th, Zach McLaughlin and Michael Sheridan round out the top 10. So this battle on screen at the moment now between 2nd and 3rd, between Scott and Tim Smith as the yellow flag flies. The 92 of Mike Keegan, I believe. Oh, the 97 just got out of shape in front of him. So a couple of teammates there. The 97 of Henninger just out of shape. Caught the grass for the entry into turn number 1. Keegan having nowhere to go. And unfortunately, Henninger back to the pits keen, although still rolling around on the racetrack as we're coming to 2 to green. So some single car cautions here in race number 2. We only seen, I think, 3 cautions in that opening exchange. It might have even been 4 at best, but I'm pretty sure it was 3. And we've already seen these cautions starting to rack up here in the early parts of this second race. The third last race of the series next week is the finale week. Tuesday night we'll have the 360 sprint cars, and Thursday night we'll have the 410s. And we will be crowning a champion for both 360s and 410s. Normally at this late in the season it's wrapped up, but the championship has been hotly contested throughout the 11 weeks. When the green guys, tighten up, single file.
Tighten up, single file.
White flag.
Lap 40. So it looks like about 14 laps to go. Leader may fire anytime after the truck pulls in.
White flag at lap 40. So there we have it. 14 to go from race control. If you wonder why I know the spiel so well, it's because a couple of seasons ago I took away their 410 championship, and then I have broadcasted their past 2 seasons, including this season. So Batista will get back on the hammer. Tim Smith looking to try and pick up a win. And now Smith is going to go to the low side and throw the big slide job dive bomb into turn number 1 and 2. Batista crossed him back over fairly quickly. They run nose to tail down the back straight away into 3 and 4. And oh no, Scott and Batista come together. Zach McLaughlin getting involved in that as well, but the 37. Oh, let's take a look at a copy Zarpaint's instant replay here. As you just see, Batista was just coming back down on the racetrack. You see the slider there from Smith. He was just trying to cross over. That's just a bit of hard racing there, as it sucks there for the 37 of Zane Scott. But at that time, in fact, let's take a look at on board here with John Batista. So this is in the 3 and 4, so you can't see. Oh, yeah, you just seen it out of left of your screen. Alright, so the white flag will be out at lap number 43 this time, with hopefully the 1 to go signal. Lights are out.
43. After the truck pulls off, when they reach that first red line outside turn 4.
White flag, lap number 43. We're about to complete lap number 30. So 13 remain here in the main event for the 11th round of the Blue Sphere Corporation and Dirty Old Bastards 410 Sprint Car Series. Smith is your race leader from John Lopresto. Chris Roberts now in 3rd, Anthony Lopresto 4th, and Tyler Henselman in 5th. Post truck is in, and we are back to green flag racing. This field has dwindled down just to 13 cars. Oh, Renault, he was sideways on the back straightaway. As we are still green with 12 to run. Smith, your leader. As they are all jostling for positions right now. Roy looked to the inside of Renault there in 1 and 2. But Renault just keeping the momentum on the bottom side of the racetrack. As he's now going to be under pressure. Oh, Renault and Samel, they make contact in the front straightaway. And Royer gets on by. Henselman and McLaughlin now fighting it out for your top 5. Henselman in 5th. Roberts, well, he's holding off. Anthony Lopresto. 10 to run. A white flag, lap number 44 or 46? 43. Battle is on for the race lead. Not Lopresto, I'm used to seeing Lopresto up the front. Batista and Tim Smith. Oh, now they're going to throw some sliders on each other. Smith now going to use the slide job line through turns 3 and 4. As he is back in control and back out in front of this field. Smith running the middle part, sliding up to the top, using the slider line once again in turns 1 and 2. Batista, well, he's trying to reel in that 838 right now. Lopresto in 3rd. Comfortable back to Roberts in 4th. Henselman, your top 5. Right now these drivers around, well, most of these guys are about 19.8s on back. Your leaders, well, they're turning lap times of 19.3s, 19.4s, even a 19.293 from Batista. Batista now with the slide job in turns 1 and 2. Smith has to cross back underneath. Now we see a drag race down the back straightaway. It's a long drag race to say the least. They rail the cushion in 3 and 4. Batista trying to come back at Smith. Smith hanging tough up top. I think that was 5 to go. It could have been white flag at lap 44. Oh, Smith almost caught the wall. Batista and Smith putting on a show here at USA. Down to the low side in 3 and 4. Batista trying to make something happen here in the closing laps of this race. But Smith, he is railed. Look at that cushion on exit of turn number 2. You can see how much it took up the screen as Smith runs the slider line into 3 and 4. Oh no! Climbs the wall with 2 to go. Oh, you hate to see it. Batista to the race lead, and here comes a 257. What has Lopresto gotten? Look at that cushion. Look how big that is built up. Smith is done for if he just hang on for this final lap and a bit now.
White flag, race it out.
There we go, white flag. You just had to race it out to the end. And Batista, Smith trying to hang on to 3rd. Batista down the back straight away for the final time into turn number 3 and 4. Batista should get the win. He will. Lopresto 2nd. 3rd, we're going to keep an eye because Smith is fighting an ill-handling race car right now. He somehow crosses the line in 3rd place. Oh my. Let's quickly take a look at our SETI Group Holdings finishing results. Batista gets the win from Lopresto, Smith, Roberts, Henselman with a great result for the 21. McLaughlin 6th, 7th Royer, Samuel, Sheridan, Keegan. Then we go to Lopresto. It's John Lopresto, Calavoda, Renault, Scott, Henninger, Berkeley, Landis, Nygaard, Schaefer, Steele, Hill, Brenner, Romeo, and Derflinger. Whew. What a race. It had it all. Some cautions, some unexpected cautions here, but man, still a great race for these drivers that they put on here at USA. So we're going to have a chat with a couple of our drivers, hopefully. Just waiting on Tim Smith. In fact, we'll drag him down first. So hanging on to 3rd place with probably one of the most ill-handlingest race cars I've ever seen. Tim Smith, you were leading that one with 2 to go. You had a great race with Batista, but unfortunately one mistake cost you a win, and you limped home literally with a 3rd place finish.
Yeah, I'm not too happy about that one. I can't blame nobody but myself, though. So that's the way it goes, I guess. Yeah, the car was pretty bent up after that. It was a real handful to try and limp home.
Man, talk about that race with Batista there. You know, you guys have pretty much checked out from the rest of the field. I mean, it was just slider after slider. I mean, it was fun from up here watching in the booth, but I mean, how was it for you on that racetrack?
Actually, I thought it was pretty good. You know, racing with John's always fun. I thought the track was actually really racy. You could kind of really bomb it off into the corner and it'd still catch itself. So, one of the few times lately I've had fun racing 410s. So, can't complain with the top three, I suppose.
Oh, no doubt. I'm sure there's a lot of people you want to thank.
Oh, definitely. All my team at UW Motorsports for giving me setups to make me look good. WickedCushion.com for just coming on the team and sponsoring us all. Appreciate that. Colby's Eye Paints. You at Ultimate Dirt TV for sure. And everybody at Dirty Old Bastards for giving us a place to race.
All right, there we have it. That was Tim Smith. Having a chat with him. And now we'll chat with our second place finisher. Apologize, we didn't get that up on screen. We'll have a chat with the 257 of Anthony Lepresto. Anthony, congratulations on a second there. It was tough out there, but you had to battle your way from the 11th starting position. You come away with a second with a bit of luck there, or unlucky from your teammate, but luck was on your side tonight a little bit.
Yeah, for sure, a little bit. You guys took EOLs and went to the back there to try to pass some cars in front, so got a few spots there on the start there, but yeah, I mean, pretty fun for the most part, pretty lucky.
Cushion was fairly built up again tonight. I mean, it was just trying to put your right rear on that cushion and just trying to hang on the best as you could.
Yeah, that was the name of the game, and a few times there coming off of 4, it got pretty hairy. I know when I passed Chris there, coming off of 4, I wasn't sure if I was going to be up in the grandstands there, or if I was going to make it. But I ended up making it, yeah, so I'll definitely take second for sure.
Well, no doubt, I'm sure there's a few people you want to thank.
Yeah, I got to thank my teammates at UW Motorsports. Got to thank all of our sponsors at Ultimate Dirt TV, Next Gen Fab, Colby's Eye Paints, Wicked Cushion. Got to thank them. Recent sponsor just came on, so pretty excited about that. Thank DOB for hosting this thing, and yep, thanks again.
All right, Anthony Lepresto comes home with the second, but coming home in first in car number 35, started position 7, John Batista. John, congratulations. An epic race to say the least, and you had a little bit of luck towards the end.
Yeah, Tim had the line figured out in the middle of the race. It didn't help that I made a few mistakes, but man, that track was so bumpy up top. I didn't really have the courage to go full throttle until we burnt a little fuel off. I hopped into the practice with like 3 minutes left. I hadn't even ran the 410 here since January, so it was a little bit of a learning experience for me.
What do you take from other tracks and apply it to this racetrack? Is there anything that you can take from other racetracks, considering that this is the longest track that we have on the service?
Not so much other tracks, but definitely the line is kind of the same from the 360 to the 410. Obviously, the lifting points are a little bit different, but when the track is tacky, it's still right around the bottom as close as you can to get to the wall. But, I mean, the track definitely doesn't get near as bumpy as the 410s lay down here.
Well, you come away with a first place finish here tonight. You got to be excited about that one. I mean, it was just an entertaining race from start to finish. But who makes it all happen for you? Who do you want to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank you and Ultimate Dirt TV, Brett. I want to thank Tim for putting it in the wall. I always enjoy dominating UW week in and week out. Trevor had a good finish. Black Diamond Motorsports are doing good. I want to thank Chris for putting on the league. I love Dirty Old Bastards.
Now we'll leave. We'll speculate that you love the league.
Okay, yeah, I love this DOB. I love DOB. There we go.
That's better. All right, there we have it. John Batista coming home with the win there. Well done to our top 3, John Batista, Anthony Lepresto, and Tim Smith. I almost had a mind blank just then. Well, that'll conclude the penultimate round of the series here from USA. It has been run and won. Race 1 won by Joel Berkeley. Race 2 taken out by John Batista. Make sure you check out Blue Sphere Corporation, Dirty Old Bastards, and Dirt Oval TV on Facebook. Check out Ultimate Dirt TV on Facebook and YouTube. Check out Colby's Eye Paints on Facebook. Check out SETI Group on the web, www.seti.com. It's CEDI.com. And that will do it from us here at Ultimate Dirt TV. Round number 11 done. Championship week is next week. We'll see you then.